Frank Wright Moxley was an American lawyer and novelist. He was born in Brooklyn in 1889, his father apparently being in the fertilizer business. In circa 1895, the family moved to Montclair, New Jersey. He served as a lawyer for 25 years and was married. He died in 1937. He wrote 3 novels: The Fat and the Brave in 1932, The Glassy Pond in 1934, a novel of many murders told from several perspectives, which the New York Times says made the reader feel like emerging from an institute for the neurotic and generally unbalanced. And today's subject, his 1930 Red Snow. The story concerns all of humanity being rendered sterile by a mysterious red snow that covers the entire world. This shortly after the main character Phaeton Andrews is born, just as his father dies while rushing to see him. The novel at first concerns itself with frantic attempts to restore reproduction before chronicling the slow decay of human society. Unfortunately, it is very unbalanced. We have lengthy chapters which just detail various historical events which do not focus on Phaeton and never really seem to interject with his story at all, as if they are happening in a completely different book. Phaeton is always off to the side, dealing with other issues, so it seems that these chapters are ultimately completely irrelevant. For example, there is an anti-Jewish, anti-Catholic, militant Protestant upheaval in the US, which leads to the US Army invading Asia, which had been unified under the supreme leadership of the Dalai Lama, and the million-strong army of the Americans gets utterly decimated. Other events include a female Pope John XXIII amassing a fleet of 700 ships to try and force peaceful conversion onto America, before they all get blown up by an inventor who orchestrates their destruction while sneaking aboard her ship to receive the sacrament. There is also a hilarious tendency to lionize Edward VIII as being a beloved king whom even the Irish will rebel to place back on the throne, and who will rule for decades. Now, during the British segments, we have the king deal with large massive throngs of women sexually assaulting men and demanding the legal right to do so, and we have him say this about the situation. In another instance, the writer feels the need to demonize homosexuality with the following. Back in the US, we have Phaeton live with his friends in a secluded farm community, that is after having had an affair with a black woman and being very racist about it, and only in the penultimate chapter do we find out he physically beat her to make her tell him her sexual history, and said he would kill her if she told him she had had any other white lover before him. The novel has a few nice moments, the previous notwithstanding, like a president who gets a salary that can't buy anything appointing a cabinet he never sees because they never do anything, or the Supreme Court reduced to 7 senile idiots gibbering judicial opinions in a dead city long after all judicial and legislative activity had ceased forever, or having a man from Louisiana become King of France. Then we have Phaeton undertake a pointless boat trip to England and running into an Argentinian ship carrying an 11-foot tall man with a shrunken head, the product of a mad scientist from Argentina, and this entire thing happens in one chapter and then is never brought up again. Finally, we have Phaeton be the last living human and be taken to the heavens by the sun god Helios. The chapters not dealing with Phaeton so slow down the pacing it makes finishing the book a chore, along with the overly referential, coy, pseudo-intellectual style the writer likes to use.